Hello, I will tell you about other news in December of 2022, and I will start with completion of Advent of Code event, and several people took this event solving problems in Ada. And 5 of them complete all parts of the quiz, and about 20 people participate solving this solving these problems in Ada. Several of them did this just for fun. I tried to use Spark, and this was my first experience with Spark code. For example, Roger used this to improve his Ada compiler, and this was very fun, I would say. And I advise you to take this event in next year if you like. Another event completed 31 December last year, and this was Create of the Year. This event has three prizes for $2,000 each. And this year we have about a dozen of participants with very interesting projects. 9 actually. First one is a library to start process on Linux and link them together with pipes. Next is SDL binding for Ada by Luke. Third one is a rather interesting library to communicate, to make low-level I/O with hardware such as analog to digital converter, PWM, serial ports, even network devices. Part of this code in C, another in Ada, and provide very nice way to control the hardware. This is the clone of Civilization written in Ada, and it's not very complete, but it's already a very interesting part. It's such a game. This set of crates for a layer let you code aware controllers, and layer already have the compiler in the repository, but these crates let you access to the hardware registers and provides a runtime for aware compilers. It's very good to have another one supported platform. This is a bit different from other proposals because it provides ready-to-use tool. This tool let you measure energy consumption by several hardware and it supports a rather long list of boards. Several crates in use Spark. For example, this one is a crypto library with several algorithms such as hash function, authorization, encryption, and so on. Spark let you make you sure that there is no errors in runtime. Another Spark crate let you convert from string to number when you number encoded as a JSON number format. Last one is rather interesting. It provides a wrapper around libadder length and expose your ADA code as a syntax tree and let you to find some pattern in the code and validate that your code is subject of some rules. So we have nice solutions and wish the author to become a winner. And last year come to the end and we have a question what about next ADA standard that should be ADA 2022, but we don't have published version of the standard that raises the question if the next standard still named ADA 22 or ADA 23, and it appears that the standard is mostly done and it will be still ADA 22. There is some editorial changes to do, and after that we will have a final version of the standard, and that's all. Related to this, it's an interesting message from Tucker Taft that the reporter group introduced new way to submit comments and proposals for the language itself. They have a new site with the community input page. Here you can and fill the form with your proposal, or you can also propose creation of a new group to discuss some broad topic of the language. Also, there is a GitHub repository where you can provide your feedback through usual GitHub pull request, and here we have already about 30 pull requests with proposal from people, and some of them already concluded. So if you have ideas, you're welcome to send the ideas to the other reporter group, and If you look at the draft of the standard introduction chapter, you will find that it includes links to a new site and GitHub repository. That's very nice. Speaking about contribution for other people, we have a nice news from Emmanuel Briot. He wrote a TreeSitter grammar for Ada. TreeSitter is a parser written in C. It accepts grammars in form of JavaScript code. In this, it has the same approach as libadalength when you have grammar description in Python constructions, but here it uses JavaScript result parser in C, and it have nice property like incremental parsing. When small changes affect very low to result in syntax tree. And TreeSitter used in some editors like Emacs and NeoVim. With some queries, the editors can use this language description to syntax highlighting, block folding, jumping, and so on. It's not the first implementation on TreeSitter, but this one is doesn't have performance problems of previous, and that's nice. Another news, we have MavLink protocol generator in Ada. The official repository of MavLink includes patch that allow you to have MavLink protocol as Ada packages, and MavLink itself is the communication protocol between ground station and drones. For example, ArduPilot uses protocol, and with this addition you can communicate with drone using Ada. For example, you now include packages in your code, and then open the serial protocol, read the packages from it, extract the attitude and other required date, and that's fine. That popular project have Ada support now. This is a good approach, I think. Another news, maybe you heard about revolutionary experiment with fusion ignition, and it appears that the software controlling this process is written in Ada, and the document says that there is cross compiler for VxWorks and compiler for Spark, and all this communicates through Corba object-oriented tools. It's not very direct to say that today this stuff use Ada, because there were several attempts to move from Ada to Java, but software is very complex, so probably they still use Ada nevertheless. One interesting topic on the blog post was about coroutines, and Fabian described in this post what is coroutines and how to implement this using Ada, and what's the difference between coroutines and task, and also he provides second implementation, another implementation of coroutines in his repository on GitHub, and it's very interesting. I have opinion that coroutines is just a task for poor languages, and I think we should investigate how to non-preemptive task could work with GNAT runtime, and compare performance between coroutines and non-primitive tasks. If somebody knows how non-primitive task could work in GNAT, it would be nice to discuss this, for example, on forum. Speaking about release, it's very interesting that GNAT new GNAT compiler landed to FreeBSD packages, and so different version of FreeBSD have different supported architectures, like 13 has ARM 64, but 14 doesn't have it, just ARM, or just Intel and AMD. Nevertheless, it's good news. Probably we'll have a layer on this platform sometime. Another new release is RecordFlux 08. RecordFlux is a tool that let you describe binaries protocols, like MavLink in previous news, and the description converted to Ada code that doesn't have runtime exception, and could be checked with Spark. Description of the message given in a dedicated language that very similar to Ada, and you describe types and compose message from fields of these types. Message itself forms a graph of fields when you specify a condition in when this condition is true. The order of fields changed. Having being sure that the code doesn't have a runtime error, it's very important now, because there is a lot of bugs in software. Here's example of usage where you allocate a buffer and create a context. You push the buffer to context, verify the message, and if message is valid, you can use a field of the message. New version of RecordFlux has improvement in generated code and used in production now. For examples, to implement trusted blobs in some video drivers. And the last news I would like to speak about is language query. This query used in GNAT check. In check is other core tools that forces some checks on your code. For example, verify that your code doesn't have a forbidden construct, and you can write your own rules to verify on the code, and these rules use custom language. And this language is LQQL. And the news is that the LQQL has a JIT compiler now, and JIT compiler based on GraalVM technology. GraalVM let you write an interpreter in Java, and this interpreter converted by GraalVM into JIT very easily without you other input. You just put the interpreter here, and GraalVM make JIT for this. It's very interesting stuff for me, because I like compiler technologies, and GraalVM is rather interesting stuff. I'm surprised that we have so much Java code now, and it would be very nice to have JIT for Ada itself. So that's all for the news digest, and if you like, please subscribe the channel, and we will see what news this year will bring to us. Goodbye, everybody.